Hello, my dears. How are you? We're gonna find out today. I have my cards. I have my zinnies and lippies. And I have some wood. Keep going. You know? So, I'm not coming with a whole lot of downloads today. But as I was getting ready to make this video, I felt called to share with you that my hair always wants to be a part of the action here. I felt called to share with you something that's been in my practice lately, in my consciousness. It's talked a lot about in, like, you know, Tony Robbins talks about it, all these cold plunge people, Andrew Huberman types, Jocko and David Goggins and all those people. But it's also talked about by Buddhist teachers. I read there's a whole chapter about it in one of Pema Chodron's books that I have. And it's the practice of moving toward things that scare us. Moving towards things that are uncomfortable. This is why people cold plunge. To regularly do things that are uncomfortable in order to develop that muscle of distress tolerance, I guess you could call it. So I've been practicing that a lot lately. Whenever something feels uncomfortable or gives me that immediate reaction of like, oh, I don't want to do that right now. I don't feel like it. I move towards it. I do it. Never really been much of a procrastinator. I have a Capricorn stellium. I like to get things done. But I just think it's a beautiful practice, and it's a really good way to develop trust with yourself, develop confidence, self-esteem, and, you know, like, say for example, I've had the habit of snoozing for a while, and that's something I'm eliminating. And it's uncomfortable to jump right out of bed when you're tired and you just want to snooze for a while, but you're wasting your life. You're wasting potentially an hour of your life, God knows how many times. So that's like time that you could be experiencing life and doing beautiful things. Or quitting a certain addictive substance. That's really hard and that's uncomfortable. But that's a way that we show ourselves that we can do hard things. Now, doing things like cold plunges and stopping snoozing, little things like that are what give us the confidence and self-assuredness that we need to face bigger things like eliminating an addiction or something like that. So that's just something that's been on my mind lately, a practice that I've been doing. But I'm going to pull some cards and we'll see what's happening. What's going on astrologically? We're still in Mercury retrograde. And of course, again, whenever this video finds you is when it's meant for you. And I am now doing personal one-on-one, hour-long readings and channelings over Zoom on my Patreon, on the Lotus tier. You can just get one if you just want one. Sign up for the tier, get your reading, and then cancel. If you want to do it every month, stay on and do it every month. Let's go. Yeah, like I've been saying, this is a time of stillness, waiting for the answers to be revealed. Not so much a time of relying on your own wisdom or your own efforts. I think that there is a lot of alignment happening, and it seems like there's this purging process happening, which is classic Mercury retrograde. This purging process happening of anything that is out of alignment with where you're going or where you want to be. And there's also a really important message coming through right now of like, I've been seeing this happen in my own life. I don't know how much detail I'm going to go into. Where it's like, you'll have this big, epic manifestation that you're setting your sights on. And it could be like in one particular area of life. Let's just say, for example, I want to gain this accomplishment in my career. And you're like, all right, God, like, let's make it happen. I want to get this raise. I want to have this certain position. And all your external efforts to try to get this raise aren't working. You know, you work longer hours, you try to develop a better relationship with your boss, you do all this extra stuff, and nothing's working, and you're like, God, why? Like, I asked for this raise. I really need this money. I want this. I really need this extra level of abundance. And you say, okay, God, just show me what to do next. And suddenly your focus is brought to your diet. An addiction that you need to get rid of. Certain habits that you need to get rid of. Ways of thinking, patterns, all these things. And you're like, why is my attention being brought here to all these seemingly extraneous things that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to manifest? But the gag is that as you focus on your diet and raise the vibration of the foods that you're eating, get rid of that addiction, raise your vibration, get rid of habits, certain thought patterns, beliefs. Start to implement all these healthy changes internally. And then suddenly your boss comes to you and offers you that raise. See what I'm saying? So that's the vibe right now. It's like, trust where your focus is being brought. Surrender. Keep in mind what you desire and what you're going after. But let go of the how. We're not supposed to be worried about the how. And when you surrender the how to God, sometimes you find that your efforts and inspiration are brought into things that maybe you didn't expect. But it's that internal work that you're inspired and motivated to do that winds up getting you where all that external running yourself into the ground was never going to get you. See? So we have the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Swords reversed. Yeah, exactly. First of all, 3 cards coming out reversed in a row is a lot of internal energy, stillness, looking within. Not grasping so hard onto anything. I'm going to get out of lotus pose here. Thank you. I think our lesson here, or part of it anyway, is not to grasp so tightly to just life in general. But especially I feel from these cards like not grasping so tightly to the way you think things are supposed to look. Like, say for that example, you know, oh, what you think you want is this raise in this company that you've been in for 10 years. But all your external efforts are not working because that's not where you're really supposed to be. That's just something that you've gotten so used to being part of your experience that you're clung to it. And you think, oh, this is the only way I can make money. This is the only way I can make this certain amount of money. This is where I've been for 10 years. Obviously, this is where I'm supposed to be. And your faith is wavering. And you're like, God, I'm doing all these things. Can't you see me working my butt off here to do the right things? Why are you punishing me? Why are you torturing me like this? You see me working like a crazy person to make this work and nothing's happening. Maybe it's because you're clung so tightly to the idea that this company is what's going to get you to your life purpose or your goals or the abundance that's destined for you. And say, to change, you know, a little bit about what I said earlier, say you have tried for 6 months doing all these crazy things externally to get the success that you think you want or that you think you should have. And you get so tired of trying to do all this effort that you say, God, just show me. Show me the way. And your focus gets brought to your diet and your addictions and patterns and habits and self-thoughts and all that stuff. And as your vibration starts to raise, you randomly get a job offer from a homeless shelter. And suddenly your whole path changes. And now you have this beautiful position in a place where you get to help people. Because that's where God wanted you to be. It's that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of non-attachment. And maybe, going back to what we were talking about in the beginning, maybe that uncomfortable thing that you're being asked to move toward is surrendering control of your path. The reason that I just spaced out and smiled is last night I was watching some really old videos of mine. They're on my YouTube here. Like really old. And I just had a very beautiful full circle feeling that most of my life I've been sitting in front of a camera in a room by myself. I used to create something called The Jordan Show when I was a kid. And some of it is on YouTube here. Maybe that's a message for somebody. I feel called to say, like, if you feel lost on your path, maybe go back to the things that lit you up as a kid. There's been so many, I haven't even really fully acknowledged it until just now, but there's been a lot of videos, coming through my YouTube algorithm about adults forget how to play. Adults forget how to daydream. When we were kids, we would look out the window and space out and daydream all these magical things, and adults don't do that generally. I do. We should do that more. And I'm grateful to say that I play a lot. So maybe that's a message for somebody, what set your soul on fire when you were a kid? Go back to basics. What have you forgotten from your childhood that would help you bring some magic and joy back into your life? So we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. Yeah, this doesn't feel like a time of a whole lot of action, especially, like I said, not in the external realm. Because it's like everything that we attract on the external comes from us. Our vibration attracts what we attract. So it's like maybe if you're doing all these external efforts and nothing's working, turn that focus and attention and effort inward. What are you doing consistently that is out of alignment with what you're asking for? What are you doing consistently or at all that is lowering your vibration? What are you thinking consistently or thinking at all that is lowering your vibration? Cutting you off from exactly what you're asking for. Say you want to become a great therapist. This is not a perfect example. Yes, it is. I'm doing great. Say you want to become a great therapist, but you're addicted to drugs. How are you going to manifest being an effective, healing, safe space for people to come and share their deepest, darkest stuff if you haven't addressed your own pain? That's a great example. What am I talking about? You see? So it's like, yeah, I think there's a reason. If you're experiencing blockages, just know and have faith that there's a reason for it. That it's not time to be putting all your effort in the external world. Direct your attention inward. How can I play more? How can I raise my vibration? What can I get rid of that's out of alignment with what I'm asking for? What can I stop doing that's out of alignment with what I'm asking for? I feel complete with that. Ooh, it's a beautiful day. See you next time.